everyone, welcome back to this channel once again. Thank you so much for watching the previous videos and liking and commenting on those videos. I was so happy to help you in that manner. So I have brought another video of Flutter Web series where I'll be explaining you how to read data or how to read the images or files from our Firebase storage. Few commented how to get those files from our Firebase storage and render it on our Flutter Web applications. This video is specifically on that topic. If you are new to my YouTube channel, then you can consider subscribing and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notifications as soon as I upload my videos. So let's start our video further. As you can see on my screen that I have already created a web page or web applications which you can get the source code from my previous videos, and I'll be also uploading this video's content source code. What I have already done, I'll be explaining you in a while. This is the first page where the vegetable seller will create a new item and the image will display here item name and the price, and he can create new item by uploading the item image, then he will be entering name and price and so on. So the main useful of this application will be in future is that if you go to any vegetable seller and if they convert this app into a small QR code, then they can scan the QR code and get the price list and they can buy accordingly. So that will be a small use cases for this web application development. So let me come back to my source code what I have already done so that you should not miss the context of our application. What I have done is that in my previous video, if you see, our account page was the main page or was hooked earlier, but in this case I have hooked the item list page. Item list page is nothing but this one which is visible on the screen. In this item list, what I have done is I have taken a grid view builder. You can Google it and you can get this context, but I have already done it. So you can copy this code from my source code, which I'll be giving you in this description below. So for that, I have taken item count 10 as of now, just to show the example before proceeding further. And I'm just printing. I have created a column widget. Inside this column widget, I have taken 3 widgets. One is for container for holding the image, second is for item name, and third is for price. Accordingly, I have taken this cross axis count is 4 so that it will be divided in 4 columns wise. As you can see, 1 2 3 4 columns. So this is the useful of the grid view. If you want to show anything on the screen in a grid view like column and row wise, it will be helpful for you. And this is the vegetables. And if I go back to this bottom of this source code, you can see I have taken a floating auction button where if I click on the new item button, as you can see, if I click on the new item button, it will go to the next page where we will create the new item. It's pretty simple. There is nothing to worry about. So let's start actual coding right now. These are the steps we have to follow. First is our main important priority is that Firebase project setup that you might have already done by following my previous videos. The second step is that we have to enable the course in our Firebase storage. This part might be new to you, or you might not have come across by googling or any other videos, but you can get the full step here. And the third step is that uploading images to our Firebase storage, which I have already covered. And the fourth one is that reading the images from Firebase storage and rendering in our Flutter Web applications. So let me go to my Firebase console and let me help you how to enable the course, because Firebase project setup you might have already done. Let me go back to our Firebase console and enable our course, and what are the steps required for that I'll be explaining. Hold your breath till then. So this is the Flutter tutorial, and we have to go to our cloud.google.com. Visit to this site and go to a console and choose your application or the project names from this drop down. I have already selected Flutter tutorial, and here you have to come and click this active cloud shell. This is a terminal which will be opened, and what are the steps we need to do I'll be showing you. So you have to open. If you are facing these problems that it says the shell.google.com refuse to connect, what you need to do, copy this and open a browser in a incognito mode, like here. Here you can come and click this active cell count. This will open a terminal for you, and in that terminal what we have to do will be following these steps. To enable the course, these are the steps that we have to follow to enable the course in our Firebase storage. First, we have to create a file called course.config.json. We can create any file with the name, depends upon you, and we will have to put this content in our that course.config.json file, and followed by running these two below commands. One is for setting the course, and one is for just checking whether this course config is set properly or not. So let's go back to the terminal and run do one by one. I am in this terminal. Now the terminal is open and let's create a file. In order to create a file, you have to click the open editor. In this open editor, it will ask you to open in a new browser or new browser tab. It took me to another tab, and here I will create a file called course config. As you can see, I have already created a course config, but I will not use this. Rather, I will create another one. Go to file and new file, then set the content that we have here. You have to copy till this square bracket end and paste it here. I think you have to give this double cut here, and if I go and to the file and save as, here we have to give the file name as course tutorial.json. Here you can, okay, now save it. Now you got this course.json, right? We have to remove this square bracket and save it. There might be some error in the file because I had left one comma after this http localhost dot star colon star. This section tells you what kind of site that you want to access or you want to allow to access to your Firebase storage. You can add your own site domain name to allow to access your Firebase storage. And here there is methods like header, get, method is there, and post I'll be adding here. Post and post method, and this is the max in seconds for how much time it will be valid or how much time it will take to load the data from your Firebase storage. Let me save it and let's go back to the terminal once again. I'll have to open the terminal and we'll have to run this command. Yes, and one more thing to note here is that here you can see the gs dot Firebase apps, Firebase some name is there, right? Firebase bucket name. If I go back to our Firebase bucket, here this is the Firebase bucket name that you need to copy and come back to your command, and you have to add replace this value with your Firebase bucket name. So I have this one, and we just created a file called course tutorial. It's a small one, tutorial. Same thing will be here, not here. Now let me go and run this command. Inside the double cut, whatever command is there, I'll copy and will go to our terminal and run it. Paste it and you have to run. It asks me to authorize my shell to run that command properly. Now I accepted that one. It says no such file. Oh, there I have made one mistake, is that it should be course tutorial. Like if I go back to here, the file name is course hyphen tutorial. So let me run the command once again. Now you can see setting course on this bucket name. Let me run the next command to check whether our Firebase access is valid or not. Okay, I copied and run this. Now you got the same response that we just added in our file. This thing we added there and we run so that our Firebase storage can be accessible. Now our next step is to upload the image into our Firebase storage. We have a new item button click, and when we click on that button we are redirected to our new item adding page. Here we have a save method. On this save method click, what we are going to do is we will store these details like image URL, item name and item price to our collection, Firebase database collection, and from there we will read those data and we will render those data in our list view, a grid list view. So let me go back to our source code. This is our account page, which is nothing but our new item page, adding page. In our save item button click, what I have done is I have hooked the upload file, doing the uploading of image into our Firebase storage. If you come to the bottom of this method, you can see one line is there, get download URL. This method will give us the URL link of the image uploaded to our Firebase storage, and this image we will store into our Firebase collections. So for saving the item, I'll create a new method, save item, and this method will be a async. I'll show you why I'm making it as a async, and I'll store a image URL here. I'll call this above method to get the image URL here. To get the image URL, what I have to do is I'll use the future, and I'll get the image URL here. I have to store the value and remove this string from here and return that image URL. We are getting the downloaded URL, storing it in the image URL and returning it from this method, and I'll call this method in our save item method. Here if I go and call that method, I'll get that URL. Let me just print this one here. After calling the upload file method, we will get the image URL and we will call this here instead of on the above method. Now the main part will start. We'll have Firebase file store instances there. We have to create a collection. I'm going to give the name of the collection is the vegetable, and we'll have to add the properties like we'll add something like item name, and we have created item controller. Item name controller is there. Item name controller, and get the text value from there. Similarly, we will store the item price. Item price, we have another controller, item price controller, get the text, and here the image URL, item image URL or image URL. I'll give the property name as image URL, item image URL, and I'll pass, I'll assign that image URL. We just got it here at this line 123, and I'll also add another property called created on the date, just to show you time and all now, and it will be to iOS 860 string. Now just format the code. It says some kind of error here. I'm just giving the semicolon after the method call. Here we can just avert this method call as well. Here what we will do, we will get the image URL after calling this upload file method. Once the save item method is clicked on save button click, we'll get that image URL and we will store it into our collections. If I go back to our Firebase app, and in our Firebase database we have only one collections users, right? Now let's try to hook this method into our save button click. Instead of upload file, we will hook that save item method and we will rerun this application so that we'll check whether the items are being stored or saved or to our Firebase database or not. Now let's try to save any item. Let me come back to this browser and click on new item, take an image. By the way, I have downloaded some vegetable images. You can and do the same. I'm just going to select the broccoli and let's give a name called broccoli, and the price will be 500 as of now, and click on the save method. I clicked on it, felt it looks like nothing happened, right? If I go back to my console, you can see there's a broccoli image printed. And if we go back to our Firebase database and come here, one collection should have created. Yes, vegetables collections has been created with the document this name, item, image URL, broccoli and 500, which we just gave here. So, and if I come back to our Firebase storage, just load it, files, and go back to our products. Here you can see the broccoli image also has been uploaded to our Firebase storage. So let's modify few things here. I'll be adding one circular progress indicator to show whether the items or the values are being uploaded or not. Let me go here. As of now, I'll add one circular progress indicator here, and child circular progress indicator, and I give the color of the circular progress indicator is green. Save it, and this circular progress indicator will be shown once the image is being uploaded. It's not completed. So what I'll do is item saved. One boolean I'll be taking is item saved. I'll declare that boolean above my init state or displays method boolean. Initially it will be false. When I click that save item method, I'll make that boolean to true, so that the circular progress indicator will be shown. Once the items are saved after calling this collection, Firebase instant.collection, when the addition is completed, then we will call a then method. Inside this then method, we will make the set state or the progress indicator value to be false. Is item set. I'm just making it true, so that at that moment the circular progress indicator will be a circle will be rotating. Once the addition is done into our Firebase, it will make invisible. So we will have the property as false. And after the values are being stored into our Firebase, we will navigate back to our list view, because staying on that page doesn't make sense, right? So we will move to our next page. Next page is nothing but our list view. So just call the push and material page route, and here you have to give the context and just call the item list page. It depends upon your application's page name, and I'm just going to give another bracket and save it, and now reload the application. Let's see, the application is being reloaded, and let's click on this time. We'll save different vegetables. We are going to save the onion, and the price of the onion is let me give 110. Click on save. You saw there is a circular progress indicator, right? It's saved and redirected back to our vegetables list page, right? And here we can render, or we can get this. Here what we will do, we will get the list of the collections data from our Firebase collections, and we will store it here. That step we will have to do it inside our item list page. Here we have to get the list of data from our Firebase. To do that, we have a stream builder. Stream is there, and Firebase. The same thing we will have to do it here as well. Firebase, Firestore, and collection. vegetables and get snapshot. Here it will have one builder. This builder will accept context and snapshot, and this one you can use this one, and here just give a comma. We'll cut this one grid view and we'll return one container. Inside this container we'll return the grid view. We'll have to modify a few other things right now. Because this snapshot is there, which will read the data from our collections, we'll have to check whether the snapshot connection state is waiting or not. There is a connection state class which will be waiting state. If it is waiting, then just return a circular progress indicator. If it is not waiting, or if it has some value like snapshot has any value, then we'll return our actually this grid view, else we'll return our, if snapshot has any value, then we will return this grid view list, else what we will do, we will return our normal container object with blank value. Now it is not finished yet. Once we got the snapshot has data available or not, this has to be a async snapshot. Async snapshot will return us the documents in the list format, and we have to come here, snapshot data, and check for the nulls and length, and it will give us, I think, this data. Okay, now it's fine. Now let's check whether there is any value or not. Item name. For item name, what I'll do, I'll try to print the item name, index and the item name. Let's save it and rerun our application. You can see, right, there is a broccoli and onion is printed. It means our application retrieved the data from our Firebase collection. Let's go back and do the similar thing. Now the next step is that we'll add the image inside our image your widgets. Okay, we'll remove this one. In our container we have a decoration, right? We'll put our image in our decoration. There is a property called image, and this will accept a property called decoration image. Decoration image you can provide with the image network. I think there is another class called network image. I'll use instead of image.network. Network image is there, and we'll have to copy this line and replace item name with the item image URL. We'll have to make it string and item image URL. Let me just go and check what is the exact property name here, image URL. Let me save it and rerun the application once again. To make the code look better, give comma after each bracket close and save it. Let me rerun the application once again and go back to our web applications. Now the application is loaded and images are also being loaded into our containers. As you can see, the image size are small. We'll modify it accordingly. Let's go and modify the image height and width. I'll give this image height as 4 and width as 3. Let's save it and try now. Come back to our page. Yes, now the image looks better, but the UI is not looking that much awesome. So you can play around with the image and how to make the proper alignment, and you do everything as per your convenience. I'm just going to get the item price now and to show in our button. Here I'll have to call that, okay, remove this brushes and call this, sorry, it has to be item price, and we will make this text style little bit bold so that it will be visible properly. Text style font weight. To make your font bold, you will have to use the font weight property, and we have a font weight class which will give us a bold property. Do save and reload the application, and if you come back here, the price is visible properly and properly is there. This is the way you can do, or you can play around with the images. And let me just remove this background color and make it white so that the image should look proper. If I come back and see, the images are looking proper and somewhat it looks better, right? Now let me add few more vegetables. You can buy it from me. Potato kg, I think 4,000 rupees. Once it is saved, it should go to our list view and load our image. See, it went to our list view and reloaded our image without reloading our applications. Awesome, right? And add few more tomato, and tomato price is 5,000 rupees. And the final one, we have an image for the next item, and that is the lady's finger. Lady's finger price somewhat like 1 lakh, not 1 lakh, 10,000. Now the items are saved and looking proper, and you can play around with other properties, like you can edit this later, you can delete it, you can make it available or not. Let's go to Firebase storage and see whether the images are uploaded or not. Let's switch back to files, and whatever images we had uploaded in our item page, let's see one by one. It's lettuce finger, onion, potato, and tomato, and broccoli is also there. And if I come back to this vegetables collections, we can see there are 5 items added, right? And we have 5 items here. So this is the way that we can do file uploading or file reading from Firebase storage, and we can use it in our web applications. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, or if you're stuck at any point of time or if any place, then you can do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to reach out to you to fix your problems. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please do subscribe and press the bell icon to get the notifications as soon as I upload my videos. Thank you so much once again. Till then, keep watching my video, keep fluttering.